This is Stephen Broder with Straight Talk Politics. Today's topic, Tuesday, December 3rd, 2024, the Hunter Biden pardon. Last Saturday night, Joe Biden, President of the United States, decided to sign a pardon to his son Hunter Biden. His reasoning was fatherly. His reasoning was solid on that basis. It was just another mistake in his presidency, which makes him responsible for the election of Donald Trump and many other things. If you like this content, please press like, please share it with friends, please subscribe, and use the notify button to find out about other content. I believe I'm going to continue this Straight Talk Politics and give it a chance to survive and flourish by providing high quality presentations and facts. The source of my facts will be displayed as we go through the presentation and the general essay, which is pretty much what this is as a podcast. The reasoning. Hunter Biden was prosecuted because he was the president's son. This is true. A leftover Trump appointee decided to become a tool of Donald Trump and to retaliate against what he felt was the unfair prosecution of Donald Trump on many issues, including the elections case in Georgia and the federal case in Mar-a-Lago. The bottom line is, however, that Hunter Biden did commit a crime for which he did deserve a conviction and punishment. But in most cases of gun possession while in the throes of a catastrophic fall into drug abuse, most prosecutors do not prosecute this particular crime for first offenders because they make a plea deal. A plea deal was eventually constructed between the prosecutor and Hunter Biden, and in order to further punish Hunter Biden, the plea deal was thrown out by a judge, and that was the plan all along. So the prosecution for an obvious crime that Hunter was guilty of, and was obviously guilty of, was done with malice. So this first point is correct. Hunter Biden was prosecuted because he was the president's son. Had it been almost anyone else, the plea deal would have gone through. There would have been no jail sentence. Again, first offenders on the gun charges almost always receive no incarceration. First-time offenders on the tax charges also normally do not receive incarceration. They receive hefty fines and penalties and are on a payment plan sometimes for decades to pay back their taxes. But again, it must be pointed out that Hunter Biden pleaded guilty to the tax charges. As to whether they were raised out of malice, I don't really know. The IRS was reported to by people who have not been revealed, although some conservatives have on X, Twitter, taken credit for inspiring the presentation. Nobody really knows why the IRS charges and for what it charges for. The bottom line, however, is in the end he admitted to the crime and deserved to be punished for the crime. However, again, a first-time offender on the tax charges and the gun charges, even combined, are extremely unlikely to be assigned the sentence of incarceration. My source on this is Fox News, CNN, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, MSNBC. Almost every legal expert that was consulted on this case agreed with that, and you can find that information with a simple Google search or a YouTube search. How does this compare to Trump's end-of-term pardons, the ones that happened in his first term, not the ones he's promised in the future? President Trump pardoned dozens of people with more serious crimes. Included among that list was Charles Kushner, father of Jared Kushner, a White House advisor in the first term of Donald Trump. He was convicted of 7 crimes, including tax evasion and several felonies. He was pardoned by Trump in a flurry of pardons at the end of his term that basically was, if you're Trump's friend, or you tried to help him stay in office, or you tried to help him with remain in office after having lost the 2020 election, you got a pardon if you needed it. So Trump saw that his pardon is a tool that the president had, is almost absolute, and was used to help his friends and help people who he feels were punished unduly for supporting his administration. My problem with the Biden pardon is quite simple. It's not right to say you're taking the high road and then take the low road. Joe Biden said he wasn't not going to pardon his son, both after the conviction on the gun charges and after pleading guilty on the tax charges, which had not been sentenced already. One thing that Trump tries to do is he tries to keep his promises. One thing that Biden decided not to do was to make a public declaration for the campaign and then not follow his own advice, not follow his promise. That is not good for the Democratic Party, and that is a signature of the failure of his administration. Quite simply, if you promise to do something and you go back on your word, that's a problem with me as an American and as a Democratic voter. He could have easily said he's going to decide on a pardon at the end of his term. That's when the president signs the terms anyway, signs the pardons when there's less political consequences. That would have been an acceptable answer. Yes, but he would have been hammered by Trump, and he got hammered by Trump anyway by doing it the way he did it. It would have been an election issue. Would it have changed the outcome? Probably not. President-elect Trump is a hypocrite for attacking the Hunter Biden pardon when he's planning on pardoning dozens of people who tried to overthrow the results of the 2020 election, which he lost. President Biden demonstrated the problems that doomed a legislatively successful presidency to one term. This is an example of why Joe Biden failed. If you like this content, please press like. Please share it with people. Subscribe, notify. Thank you very much for watching this presentation. And this is Straight Talk Politics signing off on December 3rd, 2024.